nobody has actually tried to figure out a better way of organizing ourselves on top of the internet. And we're currently running on a few centuries old social operating system, which is, at least in the West, capitalism and democracy in their current forms. I think that the ultimate product is the ultimate system. Who wouldn't want to be part of the ultimate system? The collective is going to be able to program itself and its own incentives. We're trying to create a new source of authority, a new incentive structure, which is not going to replace money and capital entirely, but it is going to supplant it and start regulating it.
Yeah.
Currently,
So wouldn't this mean that, for example, someone that has a better rating has bigger say in certain things than other users?
yeah, absolutely. So,
But doesn't this erase the principle of democracy then?
well, I think democracy has a lot of problems. One way I call the system is deep democracy. Just like there are deep neural networks, I want to turn society into something like a neural network. And why deep? Because we can vote on a stack of rules. We can have equal votes on the bottom of the stack, and then depending on how we vote on issues in that bottom constitution, then we can start branching to how much inequality we want, how we want to prioritize some experts over others, or what the penalties should be, or how we want to compute the score. We'll be able to have more democratic control of our culture. We'll have better meritocracy. There will be less corruption. There will be more accountability. We can start engineering barriers and things which cannot be bought with money. We can define rules for different aspects of the system where you cannot influence them by money. It's about granting rights if you actually want to rise in the status hierarchy. We can structure how a company functions as a game, as a society. Like we can decide which are the metrics which are important. We can decide which are the rules, how to evaluate who did what. I would like to be able to delegate my vote or
To someone who understands better.
yeah, and not only to delegate my vote, but also to give them more voting power to them. And I think that I should have less and they should have more. What I'm proposing is to actually start compartmentalizing expertise. So you're going to have many different ratings for different aspects.
Okay, that's very interesting.
We're going to be able to be subjectively objective. That means that we're going to be subjective in how we vote which rules we want, but then when we see the aggregation of votes for the rules,
They will be working.
everybody will
objectively,
be objectively rated according to those
the
rules.
yeah.
Whatever aspect you care about and you want to rank or rate people, you will be able to create that indexing, that ranking in this system. Whether it's going to get adopted is a separate topic. And you can dismiss different people about different things and also to different extents. You might only decrease their weight about something to some extent and only about some topics or all topics. And suddenly we can turn alignment and transparency as a competitive advantage. Whatever way I want to extract a pattern out of the giant global graph of expressions and information,
You should be able
I'd be able to. One thing we should do is to crowdsource a full causal analysis of what leads to what, and also of what is how relevant to what. We should be able to say if this is positive or negative, valence, plus or minus, approach or avoid. And then, if there's something we should be doing about it, that can have an argument map there of what to do about it, what are the best solutions. And so imagine you being able as a citizen to explore a full causal map of what leads to what, and if we did what would change, and then what that would trickle down to what other changes. What would happen if we orient our entire economy around identifying the biggest problems, identifying the most likely ways of fixing them as fast as possible, and if it's not working out, how to pivot as fast as possible to the next best thing. Again, everything boils down to sortition, prioritization, relevance.
But this would create a new power structure, and it's
Absolutely. That's what we're trying
and
to
that's
construct.
where the revolution comes. Yeah, that's something that needs to be eliminated, basically. And that is the ultimate control that they have, and that ultimate control is something they would absolutely not be willing to give up without a fight, as I see it.
The control over what?
Over human identity, basically.